Hi, everyone. Welcome to SBR Sports Picks. My name is Peter Loshak. This is the Loshak and the Bag Show for Monday of Super Bowl week, January 28th. Of course, Jimmy the Bag, my trusty partner, is out. He is dealing with some health issues right now, and I hope that he will get better very, very soon. Our thoughts all go to him. Jimmy the Bag, we love you, and we need you back here for your NBA and NHL breakdowns, and we hope you get better very, very soon. I am back in the studio. Of course, I hosted the show remotely on Friday from NYC, and it was a pretty good show overall. We had Quinnipiac, we had Creighton. It was a nice show, and we got a lot of insights from the comments section, and overall, it was a winning day. We'll see if we can't do it again here on Monday morning. Let's just quickly check the comments section, and then we'll get into the slate of games. Let's see. What do we have here? Comments coming in. Shout out to Nutflush Allen. Robert Gilmore coming off a 6-1 weekend. Very nice. Yes, there is a college basketball game that goes early today. Southern Utah against Northern Arizona. That's kind of a tough one. They usually play a pretty tight. They played already once this year, and it was very close. And they usually play pretty close, those two teams. Southern Utah has historically had the upper hand in this series, but it's looking like it's going to be a pretty close game, and the line is probably pretty close to being on. Northern Arizona is a small home favorite, but we'll talk about that one in a second. We'll see if Maxwell Smart is in the house and has anything about that interesting game at 2 o'clock. Let's see. Other comment. David Hutton. It's my birthday today, Pete. May have a 50th birthday pick. I won't be able to ask for one of these again for another half century. Yes. The answer to that question is yes. The answer to whether it will be a positive EV birthday pick, I'll do my best. As always, David Hutton. Shout out to David Hutton. Happy 50th birthday. At the end of this show, I promise that I will give a birthday pick, and I promise that I will do my best to make it my best play on the whole card, and hopefully have it be a positive EP play. All right, King Rail is in the house. Some interesting NBA games on the card today. We'll see what King Rail has to say about it. Yes, and Friday, the Michigan play was great as well. We had Michigan, so overall it was a good day, great day in the last show that we did on Friday. We'll see if we can do it this week again. All right, let's see. I'm just looking at comments. Shout out to Jimmy the Bag wherever he is. Hopefully he feels better as soon as possible. People talk about the Hornets game. I did also send out 2 videos. I did 2 videos over the weekend from the Knicks-Nets game at the Barclays Center. Check that out on Twitter. All right, I'm just looking for comments here, and then we'll get into the NBA segment. And, of course, the NHL starts up again today, just 2 games. Jimmy Bag and I have been doing great in NHL. Will we be able to keep it up in the second half? I think so. Not a guarantee, though, but we're certainly going to do our best. All right, let's see. Other comments coming in. Just scanning for comments. And then we'll start with NHL, then we'll get into the NBA card, and then we'll quickly touch on college basketball. The Duke game is obviously very interesting at Notre Dame. Duke is a huge favorite, but Duke has not been good ATS recently, which often happens to Duke at this time of the year, especially when they're a top 5 or top 3 ranked team. They start to continue to win and play well, but be overvalued by the market, and that has definitely happened with Duke recently. Notre Dame, though, is of course can't buy an ATS win. They just got blasted by Virginia, and a team with a lot of problems, and also not a team that you want to be betting on in any given situation, even getting big points against Duke. So we'll break down that game in a second. Other comments coming in. Let me just check, and then we'll talk about the Golden State game, which is very interesting. Eric Nisbet liking the Nets against Boston. Yeah, the Nets without Dinwiddie probably should be okay, but not guaranteed. I was thinking that the Nets on the first quarter or first half might be a good play. Not sure I want to take them on the full game. Boston, of course, is off of the tough loss to Golden State. Feels like a decent spot for the Nets here. They did look very good when I saw them play live at the Barclays Center against the Knicks. They didn't start off that game well, and this feels like a game where they're going to start off, probably try to have a better start to the game they had in their last game against the Knicks. I was thinking Nets first half or first quarter might be a play, but we'll get to that in a second. Other comments coming in. And then Rico Money likes the Nets team total over 106.5. That's interesting. Okay, let's see. Let's check. Hail to the victors likes Duke minus 6.5, first half lock. We'll look at that in a second. Eddie Euler pointing out that Duke won the last meeting by 18. Yeah, I mean, Notre Dame is looking like they're going to get blown out by any elite team, and that Notre Dame might be the one kind of team you want to bet against when you have these elite teams that tend to be overvalued as a big favorite, but not in all spots. And maybe against Notre Dame, Duke will be a good play here. People like in the over. Rico Money likes the full game over in the Nets game. Rico Money likes the Nets team total over. Von Burgess likes the over in the Nets game as well. Okay. Interesting stuff. And I guess that is, yeah, and Flyers High talking about the Nuggets Grizzlies under 209. I was thinking about the under there as well. The Nuggets can go lower scoring on the road when they play games against teams like the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies are just a mess right now, and I was thinking that the under might be a play there as well. Matt Randall, Michigan under was cash. Yes, I went directly against Matt Randall in the total in that game. That was my one loser in college basketball on Friday. I still cashed with the team total over with Michigan, barely by a half point, but shout out to Matt Randall who went head-to-head with me on the total in the Michigan game. I took the over, he took the under, and of course, he was right. All right. I guess that's about it. Jose Felix says Boston rolls Brooklyn. Fred Gialli says, did you enjoy the Nets-Knicks game, Pete? I did. Yes, I would say in general, I did. Not the greatest experience of my life. It was definitely enjoyable experience. All right. Let's get into it. NHL, we just got 2 NHL games on the card. Of course, NHL starts up again. A lot of times, people often talk about how, historically, the first games after the All-Star break are good bets on overs in the NHL. But last year, we mentioned that, we talked about it a lot, and we saw that it didn't actually come to pass. Last year, it was, I believe, about 50-50, or maybe it was even slightly skewed in favor of the unders last year in the first games back after the All-Star break. So, historically, it's been a very strong, play to lean overs in the first game after the All-Star break in the NHL. Didn't come to pass last year, and we'll see what happens this year. We've got 2 games: Winnipeg against Philly. Philly, of course, was rolling heading into the break. So was Winnipeg, though. They did lose their last game, and the big issue for the Flyers, though, is what's happening in goal. And I believe that Carter Hart, is confirmed here. He's been playing very well. So I think we give Philly a little bit of a boost defensively now with Carter Hart solidified in goal. I'd like to get Jimmy the Bag's take on Hart and what to expect from Philly going forward defensively. But I think they're going to be a little bit less vulnerable on defense going forward than they were before in the first half of the season when they were having all kinds of problems, no matter who was in goal. Feels like they're going to tighten things up a little bit. And then, of course, Brossoit is in goal for Winnipeg. Let's see if there's been any line movements on this game. Yeah, a very, very teeny line move in favor of Winnipeg. They opened at about minus 120, getting bet up at Bookmaker and Pinnacle. And I would be rolling I would be rolling Winnipeg here too, but I think I'm going to pass on this game. You never know what you're going to get first game back from the All-Star break, especially when both teams were rolling heading into the break. Lean Winnipeg for right now, but of course, we'll do this again in the afternoon show at 5:30 Eastern time. Maybe some more information will come in, and maybe some line moves will come in that will be illuminating. But as of right now, the Winnipeg-Philly game is going to be a pass for me. Let's see if anyone has let's see. Tomarino Tomor, who follows Philly very closely. Hart was gone from Philly during the break. He's playing well, but Philly is bad. Yes, they are. Their wins going into the break were all games where they were heavily outshot. Absolutely. I mean, I would definitely be leaning Winnipeg here. I'm just worried that we might see a significant improvement from Philly in the second half, and especially in the beginning of the second half. Eddie Euler says Flyers have won 3 straight. Definitely leaning Winnipeg here. And the total is going to be a pass for me. Darryl Lyles, Flyers 5-0, last 5 when playing at home against the Jets. Feels like Winnipeg is the spot here, and it feels like if the Flyers were the right side here, that we would see some sharp money, maybe some reverse line movement favoring the Flyers here with the public money on Winnipeg and the line getting bet down. But as of right now, that has not happened. The early money has come in on Winnipeg, which makes me think that Winnipeg is the play. That's definitely how I was leaning. Mr. Gokster in the house. Hart played on Saturday, yes. All right. Yeah, and of course, the Jets crushed them in the first meeting, 7-1. Eddie Euler points that out. Other comments coming in on NHL. All right. Yeah, Anthony S. says, stay away from Philly game. That's how I was feeling. That's how I was thinking. My lean would definitely be to a Winnipeg, and I may still put that on, but I'm going to just wait a little bit, wait and think about it. No need to rush it. We are going to be doing this again at 5:30 Eastern time, I believe, with Drew Martin joining us. And I think he will be joining us in the college basketball segment, but we'll talk more about NHL in the afternoon show. And then, the second game, Devils against Pittsburgh. Obviously, Pittsburgh actually lost 3 or 4 heading into the break. This is primed for a big win by Pittsburgh here. The question is, do you want to lay this much juice? Maybe you do. I'm sure some people are going to say that they're liking Pittsburgh here at -1.5, even at plus 120 or so. Jimmy the Bag, if he were sitting next to me, I highly suspect that he would be on the Pittsburgh puck line at plus 120. The part of me that's thinking about it, part of me that's thinking about taking it. Obviously, Crosby is awesome. Maybe not 100%, but awesome. Let's see who is in goal here. Yeah, Kincaid against Murray. Kincaid's been okay. Classic situation here. Pittsburgh, obviously, should be the big favorite, and they are. Do they still have value even at this line? Possibly. So I'm leaning Winnipeg, leaning Pittsburgh for the 2 NHL games. Let's see what anyone else. Yeah, Mally Mal, there you go. Shout out to Mally Mal, likes Pittsburgh minus the points. Eddie Euler says Crosby and Letang having to fly back from San Jose after the All-Star break. Eddie Euler leans Devils plus 1.5. Anthony S. says not enough value on the puck line for me. Mr. Goetzer, this is a tough spot to gauge the total over teams, but I would lean to the goalies with a nice rest spot. Yeah. I was thinking maybe about a shot with the first period under. Obviously, we're going to get a high line here. Let me just find out here what the first period line would be. I was thinking about maybe a first period under. If you look at how a lot of these games right after the All-Star break in the NHL went last year, there were a lot of low-scoring first periods, and then things tended to open up later on in the game, or not, as the case may have been. But yeah, so you're getting under 1.5 would be plus 140 at Bookmaker right now. Damn, that's a nice line. Plus 140, under 1.5. That would be my lean. Maybe a lean to second half over, which is probably insane. Yeah, not that bad, though. Minus 210. Maybe thinking about the first period under, second period over in New Jersey, Pittsburgh. And as far as the side is concerned, probably a pass. Leaning to Winnipeg, though, for sure, over Philly. And I think for the morning show, I'm not going to have any official plays in the NHL. Let's see what people have here. Kobe Valentine liking Baylor money line. Yes, we'll get to that. I was leaning Baylor myself in college basketball. Big clash between Baylor and Oklahoma. Both teams have been rolling ATS-wise, and Baylor getting a lot of points there. Should be a close game. Let's see. Other comments coming in. Eddie Euler says Devils have won both meetings this season. Mr. Goetzer says, love the under with that line, Pete. Yeah, Mr. Goetzer, you're talking about the first period under, right? Not the full game under, which would be 6.5 and probably at about even money. Let's see where the full game under is on that one. Yeah, not quite even money, but minus 105. It's actually gotten bet up. Total opened at 6.5 plus 108 and now up to minus 103 at Pinnacle. Mally Mal leaning Oklahoma. Kobe Valentine liking Duke and Baylor. Mr. Goetzer is liking the full game under in the Pittsburgh game. Yeah, I would have been leaning first period under as well. A little bit scared to take the full game under, but probably the full game under has some value too. Okay, let's see. Other comments here. Yes, Hattori Hanzo loves the Jets. All right, we're just scanning for comments here. Of course, there's going to be some dead air in this first show Monday morning. Okay, let's move on. So no official plays for me in NHL, but if I had to give one play right now, it probably would be Winnipeg minus 1 over Philly. Leaning that way. And my other leans would be New Jersey, Pittsburgh, first period under. And as far as pulling the trigger on Pittsburgh, I'm still not sure what I think about that right now. If you gave me a free play on it, yeah, I would take Pittsburgh minus 1 as opposed to New Jersey on the plus line. But I'm going to hold off on that one for now. So no official plays for me for now in the NHL, and I might switch it up later on with upcoming shows. I might start tweeting out my plays, making final decisions on the official picks that I'm going to give on my Twitter account, as opposed to just forcing myself to make my official picks in the show allows me to think about it a little bit more, and that did pay some dividends on Friday. All right, so let's move on to NBA. Rafa, you ready? NBA. Interesting shit in NBA. 5 games on the card. Let's start with Brooklyn or Boston. People have already been talking about how Brooklyn might be a nice play here against Boston, and I would vaguely agree with that. Of course, Boston's off the tough loss to Golden State that had to have taken something out of them. Brooklyn had a nice game against the Knicks, but of course they started out kind of slow and then picked it up second half. So I was thinking that Brooklyn first half or first quarter might be a good play. Others were saying that they like the over in this one and the Brooklyn team total over and Brooklyn on the full game spread, which I can certainly see. I'm thinking though that the Nets early might be the way to go here. Let's see. Comments go. Yeah, Sean Watson likes Brooklyn plus the points. Let's see. Sean Watson likes Brooklyn plus the points. Any comments coming in? Let's see what we got here. All right, yeah. Angel Romero, shout out to Angel Romero, continues to give us great soccer picks. He says, what's up, Loshak? Good morning to all fellow hustlers and real folks. I'm procrastinating a little bit, trying to make a decision on this Nets game. Fred Gialli likes the Nets, plus 10.5. Alex Malbury says, Brooklyn suffering with injuries. I was under the impression that, here, let me go to the injury report here. I was under the impression that Dinwiddie was the only real injury that they're dealing with right now. Hold on one second. Injury report. Thank you very much for sticking with us. While I host this show by myself, while Jimmy the Bag recovers from his injury, his sickness. Okay, depth charts. Hold on one second. Just find the depth charts in NBA. Are there any injuries to New Jersey that I should be aware of other than oh, that's right. Yeah, LeVert. But I was under the impression that he was going to be playing. I might be wrong, though. You people are talking about? Yeah. LeVert is out, but he's been out for a while. I was under the impression that he was going to be back, though. The Sweaty Butcher likes Boston minus 10. Nets are depleted. Boston salty from the Warriors' loss. Yeah. That's why I was thinking that the Nets early might be the better play. But Hollis Jefferson, is he out? Because Hollis Jefferson played in the last game. I saw him on the court. Is Hollis Jefferson out? I'm not seeing any information confirming him out or in for tonight, but I'm assuming that he's going to be in. Maybe limited, but I'm assuming that he's going to be in. All right, I'll make an official play. Here, WW Train says, Boston is mad. I will not bet against them unless I was getting 12 or more. Yeah, they might explode out. They might explode out against the Nets, but I was leaning Nets. Eric Nisbet, Nets, 5-unit play. I was thinking about the Nets. Here we go. Mally Mal says, Celtics will blow them out again at home. Raymond Coker, I love the Nets to cover tonight. Easy money, so strong opinions on both sides here. All right, I'm going to hold off, but I was definitely leaning the Nets at least early, if not full game. I wasn't actually seriously thinking about taking them full game. I was thinking about taking them early and then maybe a second half play on Boston if the first half was relatively close. Similar to how I was thinking about the Nets game against the Knicks. Knicks early, and then Brooklyn to pull away late. All right, so let's move on. Next game that is very interesting, obviously Golden State against Indiana. Pacers are not in a good spot, right? With Oladipo out, it looks like they're taking a big hit. It's going to be tough for them to play well going forward. Not sure, though, that Golden State's going to get up for this game. After the tough game against Boston, this might be, even though Golden State's been rolling, this might be the kind of spot where Golden State doesn't get up. I was thinking about the first half under. That was my thought on this one. Let me just find first half under. NBA. Hold on one second. Here at SBRodds.com. Yeah, the first half total for the Indiana Golden State game is 117. Getting bet up, which is understandable. I was thinking this might be a little bit of a modest-paced game, at least to start. And I will make this one an official play. I'm going to take Golden State, Indiana. First half under 117 minus 105. First half under 117 minus 105. Current line at Bookmaker. It's definitely getting bet up, though, at Pinnacle for now. I'm not sure Golden State's going to come out here looking to run up the score. Indiana probably will play pretty conservatively to start. Other comments here. Dean Williams says, no Oladipo, hammer that Golden State line. Yeah. Ralph Portuando likes the over. He says, over, damn it. I assume he's talking about full game here. Other comments coming in. Grant Hunt says, Nets does seem like the play, Pete. Boston's earned a lot of energy against the Warriors. Sean Watson, Boston doesn't blow anyone out. That is true. Ron Crawford, Warriors, my top play of the night. Tom Marino would lean Indiana. Yeah. If I was going to take Indiana, I might think of them on the first half because, Golden State is obviously rolling right now. I could see them being, a little bit having their, not having their heads in the game early in this one, but then taking over late. Indiana was flat against Memphis, but, they don't look like they look like they're really going to miss Oladipo, and that's going to happen. That's going to hamper them going forward. They won a bunch of games when Oladipo was out earlier this year. I know that. I think they're going to be in trouble going forward, though. Let's see. What else do we have here? Tom Marino said, don't trust Indiana to score, but I think Golden State is flat. I'm not getting the game. Yes, betting the game. That's why I'm thinking that the under might be a play here, and the under, especially early, might be a play. And maybe even the first quarter. Maybe I'll double up. Ralph Portuando likes under 228. What is he looking at? Is he talking about he's talking about the Indiana Golden State game. Ralph Portuando likes the full game under. I'm taking the first half under, and I might add on like the full game and the first quarter under as well. Big Regu, shout out to Big Regu. Bet under in the Pacers Golden State game. Yes, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe the Indiana team total under might be worth a play as well, just in case Golden State does explode in the second half. I agree, I don't really trust Indiana to score. Capo Dinero, Golden State rolling, wouldn't bet against them. Yes, they absolutely are rolling, and I think they're going to continue to roll. Just not sure if this is a spot where we want to bet on that train one more time. Might be a down spot. Big Regu says under is the play. I'm already on the first half under, and I might take the full game under. Fred Gialli comes in on the under. Under 228.5. Anthony S. says Golden State or stay away. It'll be interesting to see where this line moves market wide. Marino leaning Indiana first quarter as well. Lingowick likes Golden State Indy under. Wow, so everyone's liking the under in the Golden State game. Haven't seen one opinion coming in on the over. Q Peso, shout out to Q Peso, likes Pacers plus the points and the under. All right. If anyone likes the over in this game, please comment now in the comment section here in the Low Shack and the Bag Show, or forever hold your peace. Drew likes under 228.5. Luke DM, yeah, I like the under here as well. Wow, everyone on the under. Jason Walker loves the under. Pacers offense isn't that great, especially without Oladipo. Yes, I agree with that. And I'd be leaning Indiana team total under as well. Hattori Hanzo says, which means it goes over. LOL. Yeah, maybe, but maybe not though. Actually, in recent history, when the entire LoBag comment section is on a certain side or a certain play, it actually tends to cash more often than not. I've definitely noticed it. 49ers for life likes Warriors to cover, but also liking the under. Aloha Eastside Arola likes the under. Base Kenneth says everyone looking under, so it'll probably be over. I don't know, man. I'm trusting these people. And Eddie Euler says, I have a slight lean to the over because Golden State can go off. Maybe Golden State team total over would be better. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about as well. Not necessarily taking the Golden State team total under, but the Indiana team total over, but the Indiana team total under. Ron Crawford says the Pacers got up against Memphis, but their true colors shine tonight. They'll be lost without him, without Oladipo. Warriors and the under. All right. I might add on the Indiana team total under in a second. Let me just see where that is, and then we'll move on to another game. Hold on one second. Checking lines here. Shout out to the Low Shack and the Bag Show comments section. Shout out to Jimmy the Bag. We hope you get better very, 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 very soon. Yeah, the Indiana team total, 109.5. Tempting. Interesting. All right, I've taken the first half under. My leans would be to Indiana team total under and the full game under as well. Now let's move on to Knicks and Charlotte. Hornets have covered 5 of their last 6. And both teams have been trending under recently. You know, the Knicks are you know, not an impressive team, but they're going to be getting big points game in and game out. I don't know if Charlotte is that good that you'd want to lay 12 with them. I was thinking maybe Knicks team total under, which would be 105, which is interesting and tempting. Let me see what else we have here. Knicks team total under. Getting bet up, though. But 105 at Heritage right now. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what I think about this one. Definitely feels like a spot to take Charlotte. But again, I'm looking for the Knicks to, in general, have line value going forward as a big underdog. I'm expecting them to continue to have line value as an underdog in the double digits, you know, for the next month or month and a half. Or even maybe as like a 7 or 8 point favorite, 7 or 8 point underdog and higher. And this is just not a spot where I want to bet against the Knicks, but it definitely feels like a good play for a good spot for Charlotte. And again, Kemba Walker is in. Yes, Omning says Kemba Walker will play. Comment section here. Let's see. Tom Marino says the Knicks have no point guard and no size. That's true. And that's why they're getting so many points, though. Game in and game out. Mikhail Todorov says Knicks are the worst team in the East. Hornets win by 18 tonight. Tom Marino says I'm on Charlotte. Dean Williams says, do the Knicks even score a point tonight? Yeah, I was thinking that the Knicks team total under might be the play. Loa Eastside Rolla says Charlotte covers only if Kemba plays. Drew likes Knicks plus 12.5. Hugh Peso likes the Knicks plus the points. Ben Sports likes Hornets with the spread. And I'm just thinking the best play here might be the Knicks team total under. Because if the Hornets roll, then and do win by 18, the Knicks team total under will probably cash. And I could easily see an unexpectedly very low scoring game where the Knicks do cover, but still the team total under cashes. Let's see. Other comments coming in. Ben Sports 24/7 says Knicks are butt. That is true. They're not going to be winning games, but they're a very dangerous team to bet against right now. Von Burgess likes the Knicks under. Loa Eastside Roller predicts a score of 115 to 103 Hornets. King Rail says NBA is trash today. Only one game I like. Let us know what that is, King Rail, please, if you don't mind. I was thinking that the under, it is kind of a weird 5-game card, but I was thinking the under in Golden State, Indiana is a pretty solid play. The Indiana team total under might be a solid play. The Knicks team total under might be a solid play. Brooklyn early might be a decent play. And then, of course, we'll talk about Denver, Memphis in a second. Let us know, King Rail, what you're thinking, what you're liking. What is King Rail's one game that he's kind of liking here? Okay, we're going to cover this again at 5:30 Eastern time in the afternoon show. No reason to force a play here. Definitely leaning Knicks team total under, though. And let's talk about Denver, Memphis, and I was definitely leaning under in this one. Denver's been playing, they've covered 4 out of the last 5. Not a good bet ATS, though, on the road. Memphis is a very easy team to make a strong case to bet against in any situation for the rest of the year, right? Turmoil with the team. In any given situation, your first instinct is going to be to bet against Memphis. And of course, recently that has cashed. Memphis they're having problems buying an ATS win at home, on the road, as a favorite, as a dog. Line's getting bet up. No surprise there. Denver opened at -5, now up to -6. I was leaning under on this one. The total has gotten bet up, though, just a little bit. Curious line movement here. Opened at 208, now up to 208.5 or 209. So again, I was thinking about the under, thinking about the Memphis team total under, and thinking about taking Denver here. Let's see if King Rail has chimed in with his one game that he's really liking. Nuggets. There you go. King Rail says Nuggets is my max play. Yeah. It's a pretty obvious play here. Denver is a team with some life. Von Burgess likes Denver with the points and the over. Alan Action says, Knicks are never a dangerous team to bet against. Come on, Pete, they are tanking. It's obvious. Yeah, but Alan Action, they've actually had a good ATS record over the last 10 games or so. Like a surprisingly good ATS record. I know they lost against the ATS against Brooklyn, but they covered the first half, right, very easily. And before that, they just, they lost a couple of games. They lost to Miami, ATS-wise. Very recently, the Knicks have not been a good bet. But I'm telling you, they're going to start to get a lot of lack of respect on the lines moving forward and playing those young guys. I'm not sure they're going to get blown out as much as the market is expecting them to going forward. We'll see. Okay, let's see. Yep. DT Doug says Memphis team total under. I was leaning that way as well. Lingo Wick says likes Nuggets first half. I was thinking that as well. Nuggets first half. Mally Mal says Nuggets not a good first half team. Yeah, but this is on the road. I think they might come out here, especially off of a road loss, and try to prove themselves against a team that they can certainly handle on the road. So I was thinking about Denver full game and first half. Thinking about the under and thinking about the Memphis team total under, despite the fact that that this line has that the total has gotten bet up a little bit. Tom Marino says Knicks might be decent at home right now, but Moody Eye is out. Yes, for sure. Okay. Let's make a decision here. Yeah, and Ron Lofton says you can tank and still cover in the NBA. Absolutely, especially with some of those first quarter lines where you're getting 4.5 or 5 on a first quarter line. I wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks covered their first quarter line against Charlotte, actually, even though Charlotte has been a great first half team at times. A first quarter team, sorry. Let's see where we are. Hold on one second. Yeah, the Knicks are getting 4 against Charlotte. Might be a decent play there. All right, so I'm going to hold off on this one. King Rail loving Denver. The market liking Denver, getting it bet up. The market also betting the total up just a little bit. I was definitely leaning, Memphis team total under and maybe the under as well. All right, and then the final game is just Atlanta against the Clippers. This is another tough one. I was thinking maybe Atlanta first half. Obviously, the Clippers crushed Sacramento on Sunday, and that was an excellent result from them. But, the Hawks are another team, one of these bad teams getting a lot of points that they have some life to them, right? John Collins, Trae Young, Dwayne Dedmon, all those guys can come out and keep Atlanta in games, especially early. And I was thinking about, Atlanta first half, first quarter, or both. That's what I was, yep, there you go. Anthony S., Atlanta first quarter. That's what I was thinking about. Fred Gialli, Nuggets and Hornets first half. Based Kenneth says Hawks are a joke. Yes, they are. But again, on a Monday like this, I'm thinking maybe early might be a nice play. Let's see. Other Ringer says, is Jimmy alive and well? Late to show. Hope his cough is better or getting better. Yes, we hope his cough is getting better. I have confidence that it will get better eventually. We're praying that it gets better soon, for sure. All right. Let me see. Other comments coming in. I'm thinking about Atlanta here, early. Anyone have any opinions on that one? Thinking about Atlanta here, early. Eddie Euler says, lean over with the Hawks, a loosey-goosey basketball team. Yes, I agree with that. It's a very, very high total. I'm not sure exactly if I want to bet a total that high right now. Up at 232. But I was thinking about Atlanta, first quarter, first half. They're catching only 2 points first quarter. First half might be an okay play with Atlanta. Catching, 3.5. Not a very high line here. And the line has gotten bet down. It opened at 7. Well, the early opener that I saw, the initial one, was 9. Opened at Pinnacle at 7, and now down to 6.5. I'm thinking Atlanta might be a play one way or another here. Clips are missing Gallinari. Fred Gialli said I smell over in the Clippers game. Ninja 13 says Clippers have not been good at home. King Real, Clippers have been bad at home this month. What are you talking about? Drew likes the under in this game. All right, let me see. Home Reno liking the Clippers. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily want to take Atlanta full game, but I'm definitely leaning Atlanta first quarter, first half, along with Anthony S. Let's see what we got. Big says Atlanta's last game was not that bad. Yeah. No, Atlanta has some life to them. They have some talent. They've just been iffy ATS, but some players that make me want to bet on them in spots, and this might be one of them. Poppy Longwood, 69, Indian Cowboy, loves Atlanta on the road against the West. And Luke DM says, no way I'm touching a Clippers-Atlanta's game. Yeah, I can certainly understand. I mean, this might be a card where you just want to pass on most of these plays. All right. Let's think what we want to do here. Alan Action says Clippers-Hawks game is a mess. All right. Okay. I think I'm going to pass on this one for now. But again, we are going to do this all over again at 5:30 Eastern time, and I'll make some final decision on this. Once again, I'm leaning Atlanta early. No opinion really on the total here. Leaning Memphis team total under and the full game under in the Denver-Memphis game. Brooklyn-Boston, tough one. I guess leaning Brooklyn early. Golden State, Indiana already took the first half under and also leaning full game under and Indiana team total under. And Knicks, Charlotte, definitely leaning Knicks team total under on that one. And can understand why people would want to take Charlotte minus the points. So that's it. Just one official play for me right now in NBA, and that is first half under in Golden State, Indiana. Heavily, heartily endorsed by the comments section. Let's see what other people have to say here. Underdog says, consider in-game live under in Clippers-Hawks. Yes, as I say many times, all these a game that feels uncertain to you pre-game is a lot of times one of the best kind of games to bet live betting, because a lot of the factors that you're not sure about become very obvious, and a lot of the questions that you have before the game become answered very readily when the game starts, and you can adjust very easily with live betting. Let's see. Other comments coming in here. All right, and I will make the first half under play an official play. That will be the birthday pick. Golden State first half under, 117 minus 105. That will be the official birthday pick of the day. I forgot who requested it. Tough one, but that's going to be it. First half under, 117 minus 105 in Golden State and Indiana. All right, other comments, and then we'll move into a college basketball. Probably end a little bit early here because we have no Jimmy the Bag with us, and it's a very small card, very modest card. Bill Perry says the Nets get up for Boston. Luke DM says if Atlanta starts well early, I might consider playing the Clippers, but we will see. Yes, and this is the Clippers are a team that I'd be leaning on second half if Atlanta is up in the first half, or if it's tied. Ray Williams likes the Warriors under as well. Okay. Aloha Eastside Rolla, 113, 119 Clippers, but Atlanta covers. All right, so that's it for NBA. Again, we will go over this all again at 5:30 Eastern time and have a good time doing it. Joined, I think, by Drew Martin. Not sure if Drew Martin's going to be there for the NBA segment. Hopefully he will be. All right, so now let's move on to yes, Eddie Orr likes Pacers team total under. I would agree with that one as well. All right, so let's move on to college basketball. A modest college basketball card today, but some interesting matchups. I didn't handicap any of the minor games. They didn't have overnight lines. But I did look at Duke, Notre Dame, and Baylor, Oklahoma. We'll talk about that in a second. Of course, at 2 o'clock Eastern time, Southern Utah and Northern Arizona is going. And, they already met once this year. It was high scoring. Southern Utah got the win. Southern Utah generally wins when they go up against Northern Arizona. They've generally been a better team against Northern Arizona. But Northern Arizona is a significantly less crappy team this year than they have been in recent years. And they tend to do well coming off of ATS loss and straight up losses. And they're already playing better in conference play this year than they have in recent seasons. So Northern Arizona is a team that's a little bit on the upswing right now. And I'm not sure I'd want to bet against them. This is another game that might be best, might have second half written all over it, right? If Northern Arizona is down significantly at the half, I'll definitely be looking at playing Northern Arizona. And if Southern Utah is down significantly a half, I might be looking at playing them as well. Southern Utah, definitely the better team here, but I think that the spot indicates Northern Arizona. This reminds me of the Butler Creighton game from Friday. No question that Southern Utah is a somewhat better team than Northern Arizona. But these two teams, do tend to play close. Southern Utah won the first game, and I think the spot indicates that Northern Arizona might be a play here on a Monday. I'm definitely leaning Northern Arizona pretty seriously. Let's see where the line movement has gone. Yeah, very slight market movement in favor of Northern Arizona. Let's see if any comments are coming in, and then we will move on to the bigger games. Tom Reno says College Card is horrible. I mean, it's interesting. It's just a little small. It's not horrible. It's fine. It's just small. Let's see. What else do we have here? Allison likes the over in the Southern Utah game. Yeah, I mean, the first game did soar way over. Mally Mal likes the Lumberjacks and the over today. Yeah, I'd also be thinking about the Northern Arizona team total over if we can find a line on that one. Let me just scan and find that. Yeah, 76 minus 128. That is at Pinnacle right now. Definitely leaning Northern Arizona minus the points, and definitely leaning Northern Arizona team total over. 77 at Heritage. Let me just think here for a second. I could just wait and tweet this one out. I don't think there's going to be a huge amount of defense here played by Southern Utah. They can give up points on the road for sure. And I'm definitely leaning Northern Arizona and Northern Arizona team total over. Let's see what comments are coming in, and then I will make a final decision. You are watching the Low Shack in the Bag Show, January 28th here at SBR Sports Picks. Matt Williams says, who the hell will be at this 2 p.m. game? Probably no one. Matt Randall, do you have any thoughts on this Northern Arizona line? He leans the better team here, which means Southern Utah. He says, play the better team, in my opinion. Yes. I bet the game we play with less than 1,000 people here. All right, I'm going to hold off on this one as well. My leans would definitely be to, lean definitely be to both team total overs, though. Coco Bongo says, I think over is the safe play. Yeah, and this one has gotten bet up. Opened at 148, now up to a 151.5, 152, although Bet Online still has 150.5. Over is definitely tempting. But my first thought was actually the under. I was leaning under, and I was leaning Northern Arizona. But Matt Randall makes a great point. There's going to be no home court advantage here, and Southern Utah is definitely the better team. All right, so it's going to be a pass for me. Let's move on to Duke and Notre Dame. There were people giving the opinion that they thought this line should be more, they were expecting the line to be 20 and higher. And obviously, Notre Dame is not a team that can keep up with the elite of college basketball, right? They just got absolutely blown out by Virginia. They've been losing game in and game out. They were able to hang with UNC once, right? But other than that, they have just not been able to hang. They couldn't hang with Virginia Tech. Repeatedly getting blown out. ATS-wise, by the better teams. I mean, the UNC game was impressive. Definitely seems like it's Duke or nothing here, I think. Let's see what the line movement is telling us. Yeah, no real line movement. Opened at 14, still hanging around 14, 14.5, 15. Up, Q Peso already bet Northern Arizona minus the points and the over. Mally Mal also likes the over. He got it at 148. And Noli Knows is leaning under in that game as well. All right, so the Duke game. Fred Gialli says Notre Dame is a very bad team, can hardly score. Yes, that's true. Duke will crush them. Angel Romero has 2 plays for the morning in soccer. French League, Paris money line, and Moreirense money line. from the Portugal Superliga. Thank you very much, Angel Romero. I'm copying and pasting that. Angel Romero, first-time viewers might not know, kills it with soccer picks. Tail anything you see in the comment section. DJ Big Boss says Coach K and the Notre Dame coach are good friends. Might be a backdoor cover. Yeah, I was thinking maybe Notre Dame team total under. Grant Hunt says Duke first half is probably the better play. Edward Younger says Pete go under. Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. This line, though, has been bet up, though, from 149 up to 152. But I was thinking maybe Notre Dame team total under. Maybe Duke first half. I can certainly understand that. Let's check what these first half lines are, and then we'll move on. First half for Duke is 8 or 8.5. Let's see what the first half total here is. 71. What is it? 72. 72.5 at Heritage. Notre Dame team total under might be the safest play, and that would be 69, which is still cutting a little bit close. Let's see what people have to say here. Superior Sports says Notre Dame bigs are not that good. Duke minus 15 under. Duke bigs are great. Yes. Mally Mal says Duke should be up by 20 in the first half. And then you might see, Notre Dame being a good bet in the second half, maybe even a backdoor cover on the full game. Rich Money likes Duke's first half minus 8 and under 152. Allen Action. You limit Mooney with Coach K, and Notre Dame will be lucky to score 45. Yes, I would agree with all these leans. Notre Dame team total under, Duke first half, agree with all that. Shout out to Annie Marak. Let's see. Coach K says, Mally Mal says, Coach K and Pitt coach were also close. We saw what happened to Pitt. LOL. Yes, that's true. I mean, coaches being friends, I take that with a grain of salt. You do hear that a lot. I feel like coaches playing with revenge against a program that they used to be connected with is a much more important factor. Coaches being friends and not wanting to blow teams out. I mean, there are coaches that don't go for blowouts in general and coaches that do go for blowouts in general. That's a factor. But the coaches are friends factor is one that I think is a little bit overvalued, although certainly worth noting for sure. Stantino, 129. For some reason, Duke always turns it on in the second half full game for me. Matt Randall, play of the day, Duke by 20. Mally Mal says Notre Dame is 7-0 to the under after getting blown out by 20 or more points. Nice stats, Mally. Yes, absolutely. Eddie Euler says Notre Dame, any chance of pulling a Syracuse? I don't think so. Not in this spot. Syracuse plays a different style of play, of course, from Notre Dame that can pull out sneaky wins like that. Notre Dame plays faster and more wide open, as Tom Marino points out here. And Noli Knows likes Duke first half. All right, I'll make that one an official play. It makes me a little bit nervous, but I will tell everyone liking Duke here. Duke first half minus 8, minus 110. I'll make that one an official play. That's a market line right there. Duke first half minus 8, minus 110. Duke first half minus 8, minus 110. I'll make that one an official play. Now we'll see where this line movement is. Again, we will maybe get some hints here from the market. When we do this again at 5:30 Eastern time, we'll see if the market moves in Duke's favor. As of right now, we're not seeing any kind of reverse line movement. This one has dropped to 12.5 by the afternoon. That might be the market trying to tell you something. If not, might be the market not trying to tell you something, and might be an indication to pile on Duke. Let's talk about Baylor and Oklahoma. I was definitely leaning Baylor here. Not much market movement. 6 is where it opened, down to 5.5 at places, but still 6 at the Greek. Both these teams have been rolling ATS. Oklahoma doing great ATS-wise, and I was thinking that Baylor catching all these points might be worth a play. Let's just see what we got here. Hattori Hanzo says Duke turns it up second half. Hail to the victors, likes Notre Dame team total under. Let's see. Other comments coming in. Allison says Vegas isn't dumb. Most of the time, Vegas is not dumb. Once in a while, just like the rest of us, Vegas is dumb. There are games that where the lines are just off. Let's see. Yeah, DJ Big Boss says Baylor is a good team. Absolutely. I'm just wondering a little bit why this line is as wide as it is. I would have been expecting something more around 3.5 or 4. That it was 5.5 or 6 took me a little bit by surprise. And the line movement, a slight line movement in favor of Baylor is what I would have expected. Maybe Baylor first half. Maybe Baylor first half might be the play. Any opinions coming in? Any opinions coming in? If you have any opinions here, let me know, because I'm definitely leaning Baylor here. Just scanning my notes here. Feels like a game that should go down to the wire, both first half and full game. Roughly, vaguely. Baylor is improving. I think their shooting numbers to start the year were a little bit off, a little bit low. And I would have, I was expecting Baylor to be a little bit better, a little bit undervalued going forward in the second half of the season after the calendar turned, and that of course did happen. Of course, not as I wasn't quite expecting as starkly as it happened, but they've been cashing game in and game out. This is a game where I'm going to wait to see where the market tells us the right side probably is, because if this is Oklahoma minus 6.5, which would surprise me, but if it is minus 6.5 in the afternoon show, then I'm going to stay off Baylor. I would not want to bet against that kind of a movement. But if it's still where it is, 5.5, or maybe even 4.5 by the afternoon show, then I'll probably think about taking Baylor first half and full game. Any other comments coming in? Corey Mack says he's tailing Baylor plus 6. Hattori Hanzo. Mutt Beast, Baylor's been cashing for me this year, but he's off them tonight. Yeah. Let me see. Rich Money, Baylor plus 6 large, 5-1 ATS the last 6 games. Yeah, they've been rolling ATS. Christopher Comatini likes the Sooners at home. Bleds loves Oklahoma full game. Bleds W loves Oklahoma full game. Tell us why, if you don't mind. Down to 5.5. Mally Mouse says the Baylor run should be over. Oklahoma's better at home. Noli Knows likes the Baylor Oklahoma under. I was thinking that as well. Tricky spot. Maybe a first half under, and maybe the second half might be the way to go here. Fred Gialli likes Sooners ATS at home. Tomino says Oklahoma's solid, but they've struggled and they've stepped up in competition. Good BK Capper says Baylor's length and defense should tighten the Oklahoma offense, and Culver is off. Yeah, I was thinking just from a matchup perspective, the game should go down to the wire. I know Oklahoma's at home, and obviously, they've been good at home. But just from a matchup perspective, they seem evenly matched. Not sure why this game wouldn't go down to the wire first half and full game. Baylor first half might be the play here, if not full game. Matt Randall just played Southern Utah. Spot as good as any here. And Alan Action likes the under as well. Yeah, and maybe the Oklahoma team total under at 72. Feels like it's going to be a tight defense-oriented game, and feels like the spread is just a little bit too high. So I'd be leaning Oklahoma here. Leaning Oklahoma team total under and leaning Baylor plus the points. But again, we'll hold off. We'll do this all again at 5:30 Eastern time with the help and insights of Drew Martin. And then the only other major game on the card is TCU against Texas Tech. This one has moved in Texas Tech's favor. And I have no opinion on this one. Obviously, it's likely to be a low-scoring game, but not sure I want to take the under at 130.5. And in fact, the total, I believe, has gotten bet up a little bit. Well, no, not really. Yeah, just a teeny bit. Half point since opening. And this is another one. Expected to be a low-scoring game. And I'd be leaning TCU, except that Texas Tech has been terrible ATS-wise recently. And TCU has been cashing, but the market has moved in Texas Tech's favor. And that has my eyes open. When I looked at this game, I was like, all right, Texas Tech killing it ATS-wise. Sorry, Texas Tech terrible ATS-wise recently, and TCU has been cashing. Line opened at 4.5, and I was like, if the line moves in Texas Tech's favor, that tells me that Texas Tech might be the play here, and that has happened so far. Opened at 4.5, now up to 5 or 5.5. Let's see what the Fred Gialli likes TCU +5. Edward Younger likes the over. Eddie Euler, TCU 0-4 under on the road. And Stantino 129 says Oklahoma Baylor is a 10-foot pole game for me. I agree with that, except for second half plays and live betting. Oklahoma Baylor is the classic kind of game that can have great value on the second half or live betting. If it starts out unexpectedly high scoring, a live bet on the under might be a great play there. If Baylor jumps out to like a 10-4 lead, Oklahoma is probably a great play one way or another. Live betting. Eddie Euler says, thinking both Baylor and Oklahoma and TCU, Texas Tech will be tight games. That's what I'm thinking as well. But clearly the market knows something, or thinks it knows something. Mally Mal likes TCU money line, so Mally Mal not buying the line movement favoring Texas Tech right now. Kendrick Brown, Baylor wins easy. Ron Crawford, Baylor out rebounds and better defense. Look for Baylor outright. Absolutely. If we weren't doing an afternoon show, I might force a play here. We're going to discuss this more in depth with the help of Drew Martin, and I'll probably make my final decision then in the afternoon show. Chase Baker says Tech at home by double digits. And Bleds W, here he goes. This is why Bleds W likes Oklahoma. He says Oklahoma is deadly at home and has the better big men, shoots the ball better. Love Kruger, who is the better coach. So Bleds W identifying a big home court edge for Oklahoma. Mally Mal also liking Oklahoma, minus the points. And TCU +6 and Duke first half. Okay. Dean Williams says Texas Tech is overrated. Yes, they certainly have been by the market. So far, doesn't mean that this is necessarily a place we want to continue riding the Texas Tech fade train. All right, so I guess we can wrap this up. I will have no official. Oh no, I have Duke first half -8 as my one official play in college basketball. Other plays I'm leaning towards that we will be discussing more in depth in the afternoon show with Drew Martin. I'm leaning Baylor plus the points. I'm leaning Oklahoma team total under maybe. And the TCU Texas Tech game is going to be a pass for me as of right now. I want to see what the market move is on Texas Tech. If it dropped back down to 4.5 or if it stays right where it is. That's it for the Low Shack in the Bag show, Monday, January 28th. Thanks so much to all the comment section regulars as always, and we'll see you at 5:30 Eastern time this afternoon with Drew Martin. See you then.